All right, on tonight's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our generative AI course, and we're still going over our vector databases. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. Now, tonight we're still going over our Chroma database, so we're gonna do some light reading because all we did was do some light note taking and some lecturing. So let's pick up where we left off from yesterday. So again, let's go over the steps we will be taking. First of all, we get our data and convert it into our embeddings. This is what it looked like. We have our data get converted into our embedding. The model that we'll be using to convert our data into our embedding is the OpenAI embedding model. We can get a deeper understanding of the OpenAI embedding model by looking at the documentation. Next, we can say that in between our data and our embedding, we will have our chunking. That will look like this. So we have our data. We'll convert it to chunking, or we convert it into chunks, and then we convert those chunks into embeddings. And after the embedding, we will pass everything to our model. That will look like this. So we have our data, convert that into chunks, convert the chunks into embeddings, and pass all of that information into our model. Now, next, we're going to have to let's get an understanding of the chunking. So let's say we have the data that we want to convert into chunks. We can perform this task by using this code. Text splitter equals recursion, character text splitter, chunk size equals 1000, chunk overlap equals 200. And inside this code, notice that we have two parameters, the chunk size and the overlap. Chunk size specifies that we want to divide our data up into chunks. Let's say we want to divide our data into chunks of 100 tokens, for example. So with that being said, let's say we have three chunks, for example. Each of those three chunks will be 100 tokens long as specified by the chunk size. We're not using the 1000. That was just for the example purposes for the code. But we're saying we have 100 token size. So if we have three chunks, every one of those chunks will be 100 tokens long. A token is just another word for word. So each chunk will be 100 words long. So that means that each chunk that we have in our collection of chunks will have at least 100 tokens in it, or 100 words in it. Now let's take a look at the overlap. Let's say our overlap is 20. Overlapping occurs when the last words, however many specified by the number we entered, overlap onto the next chunk. Basically, the last 20 words of our chunk will start our new chunk. So at the same thing goes for the last 20 words of our. So let's say we got three chunks. The last 20 words of chunk one is going to start chunk two. And the same thing goes for chunk two and chunk three. The last 20 words of chunk two are going to start chunk three. And that's what overlapping is basically. And basically, that's what we went over for the night. We ain't do too much. It was a light note taking night. Just took some notes, listened to some lecturing, and that's it. But of course, we will be moving forward, and I will keep you posted every step of the way. For now, it's the Python Poppy. You guys stay Gucci.